It's the battle.
What's up, everybody?
What's up? Why you leave?
I don't know. I thought people were here.
Oh,
No, people were just being introverts
Oh, I see.
or something.
Wow, that's interesting. Glad you guys are here.
Yay, you have your INTPs all to yourself.
Got your beer?
Had a little beer.
Is that red tail or red something?
Just a little coarse.
Oh.
I went with something chill today because I'm not looking to get too fucking crazy.
There's got to be some form of alcohol somewhere in this house.
Dude, go before 2 a.m. call so you can join me.
It's already 2 a.m. I can't make last call. I do this every fucking time.
You need to be more prepared.
Yeah, but I should be drinking anyway.
Why? It's better than popping pills.
Not for my liver, it isn't.
Wow.
Pills aren't good either.
Well, the pills that I choose to take aren't hepatotoxic.
What did the government say? That's you, Susan.
Oh, I just said that pills aren't that good either.
No.
In
The
general.
hepatotoxicity of the pills that I choose to take are very, very low, if not nil.
Man. So,
Damn it, I wish I had a 6-pack of fucking Bass Ale right now. Oh my god.
Did you know Ambien is bad for your liver, right?
Yeah, I know.
any
That's
prospective
one
couples here?
pills that I do take sometimes that is a bit hepatotoxic.
Somebody make an announcement like, Abe's drinking. Any prospective couples, please show up now. Hello, Audra.
She looks like she's looking down on us with disapproval.
She looks frozen.
She is. But she still looks like she's looking down at us with an air of disapproval.
Off she goes.
Did you kick her?
No.
Oh. Smoke a bowl or something, dude.
Don't have any.
You don't have anything?
No.
What
I
her?
have like a fucking whole bottle of Klonopin, but it'll just fucking put me to sleep. Or make me say things that I don't remember.
Well, you can always go back and look at the raw film.
I did that with the Elsie thing, and it made me... Actually, I was less upset about it today than I was last night. Today, it just kind of amused me. Last night, it almost pissed me off.
I called you out on that Taylor thing. On that Nick thing, because it felt like it was not real. And there was something about the way you executed certain words and what your face expressions look like that made me feel that way.
I can't.
And based on that alone, it's like, if the statement I made is not true, then don't worry about it. Just disregard it.
Yeah, but that's something I run into every fucking single day.
Like what?
I seem insincere and aloof and like not there, and my facial expression is the same all the time, regardless of what I'm saying, unless I'm like really.
Well, yeah, but see, the thing is,
I was being completely true.
The thing is, it felt and it looked like it was different then.
I know.
I don't know why. I've seen you thank people before, genuinely, and I don't know. I can tell.
I meant it. My face just didn't show it.
So consciously, you. Well, I don't want to get smart right now. Probably not in the best state of mind.
I'm pretty tired. I'm not in the state of mind either.
How does one get smart?
You have to take a book and put it against your head like this, and you absorb it. Then you're done.
So, do you feel related to Susan in some things, like any beliefs or?
I love
any...
cats. Cats are like my best friends. I get them. They get me. Are you rolling your eyes at me, Susanna? Without
No,
really rolling your eyes?
I was looking over to my other screen.
Okay. Because it looked like you were like. So I was like.
I think I would have cut it.
If it was that, you would.
Because, see, the thing is, well, you, Josh, you emote more than, in my opinion. I think you emote with facial expressions more than Susan does. Susan on the outside is very, like...
I emote with my eyebrows. Well, but sometimes, sometimes they just activate without my knowing. When I'm thinking about something,
You, my friend, need some activists.
Is that a drug?
Yeah, it's fucking lean, but I'm just fucking with you.
I know you are. I know you love me. I need to quit relying on my fucking left elbow to support me.
Do you feel that, Josh?
Usually I'm numb.
No, not physically. I know you take drugs, but
I
do
know.
you feel anything?
I
will tell you something. Being numb on drugs, and I know this is not what you're saying.
No, I'm talking
I know this is not what you're saying. I'm just saying. Being numb on drugs and feeling that warmth that you get from that, it's something that I've experienced in a moment in which I was in a very bad state emotionally. And I can't help but to think that there's something that drives you there related to your emotions.
When I'm on drugs, I can relate to other humans much easier. And I long to have humans.
Why?
Because I don't know why.
Can you explain it?
It makes me feel like I can say things to people.
Feel like you can say things to people.
Yeah, like I can talk to people. Like
what's the feeling you get that makes you say, "Hey, this is what I want to say"?
I don't know. I don't really understand my feelings that well. When you ask me a question like that, I don't know how to answer it.
Well, I mean,
I'll give
you an example.
I'm being totally 100% serious with you.
I know you are. I'm not saying you aren't. I'll give you an example. When I drink beer, it feels better when I make people laugh. I don't know why. Because it's like beer and then making people laugh. Those are two feelings. But I don't know. Does it feel better when people interact with you on drugs?
It makes me enjoy. All right, it makes me enjoy being around other people a lot more. It makes being around other people enjoyable instead of a drain. It makes me not.
What does it normally feel like?
Not think as much, and it makes me not as aloof, and it makes me more engaged.
Well, I don't think a lot sometimes. Well, I mean,
I'm constantly.
I think I live in my head a lot, and I worry about others' perceptions about me. But I've also learned to kind of put that aside a little bit. And
Oh, I've had 37 years of trying to practice this, and it's all artificial.
before you decided you were an INTP, was there
I-
anything else you thought there was?
You mean psychiatrically?
Um, I mean, in terms of personality type.
I knew I was different from the time I was born. I mean, from the time I can remember, I knew I was different in some way. And I don't say that like in an egotistical way. I mean, I just knew
But-
that I was just fundamentally built different. Like,
But have you not said that you tested as, what was it, INFJ?
I tested as INFJ in 1999, and in 2002, when I had my psychotic break, I
What's a psychotic break?
I was up for 5 days at the Marriott, which I was running, and I just couldn't handle it, and I broke, and I started seeing things that weren't real, acting irrational, and they allowed me to resign instead of firing me because I became unreliable, and
So you didn't sleep? Is that what you're talking about?
I stayed for 5 days. That was the catalyst to my. I mean, I'm obviously genetically predisposed. You have to be predisposed to something like this in order for staying up for 5 days is not going to cause someone to develop bipolar 1 with psychotic features / schizoaffective, which you took out of the DSM last it was published. But you have to be predisposed in some way or another, because many people stay up for 5 days and they're fine. But in my case, I had to be hospitalized, and I was trying to climb
Josh,
the walls, and
it feels like. How wrapped in are you in your emotions right now?
Right now, I'm not even feeling any.
Well, I mean, earlier you were like, "Well, I definitely feel different about the shit that Elsie told you yesterday."
Well, that was earlier when I read it. Also, I was on Adderall earlier.
What does that have to do with your feelings?
It changes the way I feel.
Can I ask you something personal?
It makes me feel more positive about things.
Can I ask you something personal?
Sure.
How was your last relationship?
My last relationship lasted only 2 years. It was pretty good. It was not a deep relationship. It was somewhat superficial, but we did have a great bond, and we did love each other. But his mother ended up divorcing his father and moving to Georgia, and he wanted to be around his mother, so he moved to Georgia, and I wasn't willing to leave my family. So,
Josh, let me tell you something. This is me. This may or may not have something to do with my personality type. I feel like you have something going on emotionally. And I see that in both the way you hold yourself and how you emote and the things you talk about. And it's not that I'm telling you like there's something wrong with how you do those things. It's just sometimes I feel concerned because you are a good person and you are like somebody that I like talking to, but there's something that doesn't feel right. And I feel like that about most of my friends who are like feeler types, because you could, I mean, at least on the physical level, you can kind of tell when something is going on. That's why I'm having this weird conversation with you.
yeah, see, I don't even know how to respond to that.
Why?
Why?
Is it because there's not something going on? Is it because there is something going on? because sometimes I listen to you speak, and I feel like you're this huge barrel full of, I want to tell you something. I don't know if that makes sense. Like a huge barrel that screams. It just screams to me like I want to say something that like I've been holding in for quite some time, or like I want people to understand me on
I do want
an
people
emotional level.
I do want people to understand me, because most people don't.
On what level? I understand you like when we talk about serious stuff like politics, but I feel like this is what I think. Again, I feel like what you're pursuing is more of like an emotional type of understanding from people.
Well, yeah, I don't know fully how that works, and I've never been able to make it work. I feel
Are you
like
sure?
I feel like I'm emotionally
Are you
toxic
sure?
to people.
Are you sure? You're telling me you've never been able to do that?
With Robert, I could.
With Robert, you could. I mean, you've definitely done it with me.
NTPs tend to have a lot of problems diagnosing even their own emotions.
Josh?
That's an observation I've made both from myself and from other ENTPs and INTPs I've met.
Josh,
Yeah,
do you have anything to say with what I said? What I just said right now?
I appreciate your concern.
You appreciate my concern, but you're not telling me anything about the concern. I feel like you're not listening to me right now.
I feel hollow.
You feel hollow? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
I feel like there's something missing that I don't get about life that everyone else gets. And
like
it
what?
frusterates
What
the
is
fuck
that?
out of me.
What
I
is
don't
that?
know what it is. I don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is.
I feel like there's something about life that people get from it that I don't get, or I don't understand, or I don't have the perception to
I like how Josh, can I tell you something?
yeah.
I like how you vividly explain to this has nothing to do. I don't want to talk about the conversation you had with Nick. I just want to talk about how you vividly explain being in that same position. And there was something about you and how you were talking about it that kind of felt like something was there. It's like when said, it's like you
I
were
don't
trying
want
to.
I don't want him to feel the loss that I felt. I'm afraid for him.
That is what I want. That is what I want to know if that had any significant impact on you as a person.
Oh, most definitely. I've never opened myself up again since.
Okay, well, why?
Because I cannot stand to suffer another loss like that, and I know it will eventually happen because of just my nature.
I feel similar to this to the extent that, I feel similar to this in a way. To keep it very, very short, the very first time I was with somebody physically and in a relationship, this individual cheated on me. And so it's kind of like, I can understand where you're coming from, and I understand what it means to feel in that position in which you can't open up to somebody. Because it's a very bad feeling that makes you feel, even on a friendship level, as if you're tied down to something you really don't want to be a part of.
I just feel like, you know, I'm gonna have to think about this for a little while.
I will say this. I will say again that the natural state that you explained that you were in terms of the feelings that you were feeling when you were in the same position that Nick was very, very good for someone who's an INTP, at least in my opinion. Now, I'm not a socionics fucking NBTI expert.
Fuck all
But
that shit. It's
I could-
brain chemicals, man. It's brain chemicals. It happens.
Right, but listen.
Endorphins and oxytocin is released. It's love is the perceived reliability of endorphin release and oxytocin release. That's what love is.
But my thing was, again, that
And it's not always reliable.
my thing was again that the way in which you expressed that was, I can't really explain it because I have a very difficult time talking about how I felt in that moment in which you emoted and expressed and explained that state of being in particular. Feeling like Nick. And I don't know, it was just, I could understand you and see that this is why I kind of get like confused when you're like, oh, I don't necessarily feel connected to people on an emotional level. This was one of the many times that
This is the one and only time I ever felt that way, and I got
well,
the one and only time. And
at least the way you feel about it. I mean, I'm telling you from my perspective. I don't know if that changes anything, but I mean, I've definitely felt emotionally connected with you in a lot of instances, especially when we joke around and shit. And it's not because, I think you've told me this before, it's not because you have the same beliefs that I do, or like we have similar beliefs, or because we think about certain policy or real world issues we think about them the same way, you know?
I just feel comfortable around you for some reason. I feel comfortable talking to you. I can't explain why, I just do.
That, I don't know. I mean, if you're an individual who has been emotionally hurt and cannot open up in that particular manner to people, this is kind of why earlier I was bringing up, even in friendships, it kind of feels weird.
I'm sorry if I make you feel weird.
No. See, why did you apologize there?
Because I thought you were implying that I was making you uncomfortable.
Okay, well, you're not. I don't know if I communicated something like that.
Response.
But,
I'm sorry.
But look. Oh my God, that kind of threw me off a little bit. I don't know if I said something that made you feel that way, but point being is, I feel that you are an emotional person to the extent that there's something wrong that I feel and that I wish that you should talk about. I wish there was something that you could tell me that explains to me why you seem so relatable, or why you seem so like there in the moment in terms of, I don't know.
There are certain people that I can relate to, and I can't explain why. I don't know why. And I could think about it for 10, 20 days and still not come up with a suitable answer.
Susan, is there anything that Josh had said, and then you can decide if you want to be part of the conversation at this point. But my question to you is there anything that Josh has said that kind of resonates or kind of, I mean, sounds something that you want to maybe like question or think about? Or... I don't want to assume that just because you were an INTP as well,
Fuck
that you
MBTI.
are
Just
like,
throw it out the window.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to assume like just because you're an INTP that you have the same type of persona that Josh has. But I just want to know, what do you think about the things that Josh has been saying? Is there anything in particular that? Sorry, is there anything in particular that like, you know?
You won't hurt my feelings at all if you say anything
No,
negative.
I think Abis might be right about some things, and I think there might be some things you are not comfortable talking about.
But I don't know what those things are. I don't know what he wants out of me.
You're
I
just
mean,
curious
I had a
about
childhood where I felt neglected by my parents emotionally. That's
Yeah,
something.
but you're 38 now. What is
I know.
happening today with you?
Oh, I deprived myself of my own childhood. I was the logical referee between my parents when they argued, and I spent my time alone with my encyclopedias and my projects because the children I couldn't relate to very much. And I was more of an adult when I was a child, and I'm more of a child now than I am an adult. If that makes any sense.
But the thing is, it's not about your past experiences. It's about how you feel now, how you feel as a person.
It changes from moment to moment.
Changes from moment to moment.
Right now, I'm feeling emotionally frustrated.
Feeling emotionally frustrated. Why?
Because I can't answer your question. I can't, because I know you want an answer, and I can't give it to you.
No, I'm not. Well, I mean, there are certain moments where I'm asking you for an answer and stuff, and I understand that you can't necessarily answer those things. But I don't know, Josh. I really want to know.
Like I said, I have a seedling of emotion within me that wants to sprout so badly, but it's like got like fucking.
Is there something that's holding you back?
Dirty water, nourishing
Dirty
it.
water. Okay. Your reaction to me telling you that you did not feel happy about Nick's situation and what he's doing was incredibly like I knew you were upset about it because I felt that you took it as no, not robotic at all. Definitely not robotic. Very emotive, very not too dramatic, only slightly. And that's because I feel like you felt something.
I felt like I was being
terms of-
misrepresented, and I don't like misrepresenting myself or coming off in a way that misrepresents myself. That upsets me.
Why do you feel that? Why? Because you're afraid that Nick might feel offended?
No, because I don't want to misrepresent my thoughts.
Why? Why don't you want to misrepresent your thoughts?
Because that would be logically bankrupt if I were to be that way.
Forget about logic, okay? Forget about logic.
Yeah,
How would
okay.
you feel about it?
Well, if I could interject here, one of the common problems. I don't obviously, Josh. I'm not gonna claim to know you very well because we've obviously only talked a few times over the past few days. But one thing I have noticed is, I think you need to lighten up on your thinking, man. I know it's your first. I believe it's your first cognitive function is, I believe, thinking, but you
That's
tend
what
to
it's
think,
for. I
overthink
don't
things
take
all the
them.
time.
That's what these are for, and I don't take them because they make me feel dumb.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. You don't have to take them. The thing is like, I think you should work on trying not to overthink things all the time. Try to just let things be as they are. I mean, obviously, some things need to be thought about, but sometimes, especially when it comes to emotions, if you keep suppressing your emotions in the name of logic, you're gonna feel terrible. Like you are
I
now.
feel emotionally numb all the time, like flatline, like nothing.
No, you don't.
I've been there before.
Not all the
No,
time.
you
Not
don't.
all the time.
No,
Not
I know
not
you
100% of the time. Obviously,
There has to be, I don't know, like the interactions I've had with you, and for you to say that you feel emotionally numb all the time, it's not.
not 100% of the time. Obviously,
Okay, so now you're changing it.
I'm sorry I made a generality.
Why are you apologizing? We're trying to find out stuff about you. I'm trying to figure out how I feel about this feeling of
Being
mine.
bipolar, your moods change. Your moods change.
Being bipolar? I don't think you're bipolar. Who told you that?
Fucking 3 psychiatrists and fucking 5 hospitalizations.
Wow, you seem completely normal to me. You just seem like somebody who's troubled about something. Or about several things.
Well, I'm lonely, but I don't know how to change that.
You gotta go out and do things with people in real life. That's how you become not lonely. You gotta make some close friends.
How long have you been sitting on that feeling?
Since I lost Robert, which was in 2010 or early 2011. But I wouldn't want to be with him again because he's changed and I've changed and we're not the same people.
Yeah. That's not a part. That's not part of the question. You answered the question. So, what have you? And I'm not trying to tell you like, oh, do something about it. I just want to know.
I enjoyed for the first time a sense of emotional security, and then it was like the rug was pulled out from under me. I haven't been the same since. Yeah. Like
emotional comfort? Is that what that is?
I guess. I mean.
Or did you like logically feel that you were emotionally secure?
I loved him, and I felt a logical sense of emotional security.
You felt emotions. Forget about logic, dude. You felt something.
Well, I felt something.
I don't know what it is about you. You feel. I feel like you and I are similar in that sense. If MBTI truly does not matter to you, what is the difference between you being an INTP and an INFJ? Or an IN fucking whatever you tested as first?
I didn't really care back then. I didn't really care. I don't really care now about what my type is.
Okay, so you just finished saying I didn't really care about then. Care about what? Is there something
you asked me what I felt about being an INFJ, testing it as an INFJ before, and I'm saying I didn't really care. It was just a fun test for me to take when I was bored at work.
I don't know, Josh. You strike me as one of my people. And maybe that's because I like you a lot as a person. And I love listening to you and talking to you whenever you are expressing your emotions about past experiences that you've had. You know?
I constantly have it running in my mind how I could have improved, how I could have been better, how I could have changed to stop the demise of my relationship.
I've had a similar experience.
Wait, real quick. I'm gonna use the restroom, but I still want to have this conversation. Okay, so.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay,
I can sort of relate to your situation. I don't think it's as extreme. My situation was as extreme as yours because I think you mentioned that you got cheated on.
No. You mentioned you got cheated on.
You weren't cheated on?
No.
Okay. So the relationship just fell apart.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've been in a situation like that before. My girlfriend and I, my first real girlfriend, it was the first time I'd felt emotionally stable. At the time, it was like the first time I'd felt emotionally stable in probably the entire time that I could think of my previous life. And then 5 months later, not even 5 months later, I think it was like 3 or 4, she dumped me. So I can kind of relate, and it took me a year to recover myself. The one thing that I had to learn to accept, and I think what helped me get past it, was realizing that sometimes things like that fall apart and it's not your fault.
We knew it wasn't we mourned the death of our relationship together. We knew it was falling apart. And the saddest breakup is a breakup between two people who love each other. But no,
Hi.
it's not gonna work.
Hi.
Our personality differences.
Are you expressing something again? Are you expressing your emotions?
No, I'm saying one of the worst situations in life is a breakup between two people who actually love each other.
Yeah. Can I ask you a personal question?
Because they logically know it's not going to work.
Can I ask you a personal question?
That's
Sure.
where I say logic would do harm.
Josh,
Yeah.
can I ask you a personal question?
You've asked me plenty. You can continue. I don't care. I'm an open book.
How much did it hurt?
It felt like I was stabbed in the heart.
And what did you do immediately after?
You know exactly what I did.
Well, can I ask you about those things?
I drowned my sorrow with drugs and alcohol.
Welcome to the club, bud.
And
kidding.
I got into an emotionally abusive relationship with someone who had been in love with me since 2004. I thought he was over it. I met him at a friend's house when I was picking up some pot. And I was like, oh, James. And he was like, oh, Josh. And I had no clue that he was still in love with me. And I needed a friend, a good friend, right after the breakup because I was just not handling it well at all. And he was a friend to me, but
What kind of comfort did that
about 2 months
individual
into my recovery from Robert, he said, I can't just be your friend.
What kind of comfort did this person provide to you?
He was someone that I dated for like 2 weeks, and I just didn't want to. I actually no, I was using him, but I
That was a very difficult question, do you think? Or maybe
I needed someone to coddle me, I suppose.
yeah.
And he did that. But I didn't realize that he had ulterior motives or other motives involved in the coddling of me.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I feel like sometimes, if it makes you feel better,